enshrined in Article 1 of our Constitution, and at item 15 is clearly mentioned that Jammu and Kashmir as a whole is part of India. And when we say the Jammu and Kashmir, the complete state of Jammu and Kashmir, which includes PoK and Gilgit-Baltistan. Therefore, PoK and Gilgit-Baltistan becomes an occupied territory, a territory which has been illegally occupied by our western neighbor. Article 370 was brought in, and there itself in subpara 3, it is very clearly mentioned that it is temporary in nature. When Article 370 was introduced with the word temporary, there was no objection from Pakistan. Article 370 in itself has been amended twice, where the leadership of Jammu and Kashmir was designated as the Sadr-e-Riyasat, later on the Prime Minister, and then the Chief Minister. Therefore, why is it that Pakistan has suddenly awoken up and has raised the ante on Article 370? It is because this illegal territory which has been occupied by Pakistan, illegally occupied by Pakistan, is not controlled by the Pakistani establishment. It is controlled by terrorists. PoK is actually a terrorist-controlled country, or a terrorist-controlled part of Pakistan. That 42,000 lives have been lost in the battle to regain control of Pakistan is something which is very difficult for these terrorists and the Pakistani establishment to sit quiet over. And therefore they've been raising the hue and cry over the abrogation of Article 370. You would have seen a lot of figures appearing in the media which say that who says the Jammu and Kashmir was not empowered, there was no development, education was lacking, because various statistics that have emerged speak a different story. But I think it is for us to understand that Jammu and Kashmir as a state has been getting 4 times the share of financial support than what the other states of our nation have been getting. But the development and all the other HR indexes that are used to measure the kind of development that has taken place has not even been twice that of the Bimaru states. So what we are trying to say is that the proportionate expenditure of the government in the state has not seen the kind of benefits that should have emerged. And therefore it was time to abrogate this article to ensure that the people of Jammu and Kashmir are able to reap the benefits that are rightly due to them. With the abrogation of this article, we are confident that we will witness better development, better job opportunities, better people-to-people contact, and finally, better amalgamation of the state of Jammu and Kashmir with the rest of India. But there is an attempt being made by the terrorists who control Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, as I said, to disrupt and prevent normalcy from being attained. And therefore what we've been seeing is killing of apple traders, killing of drivers from outside the state who are ferrying the apple crop, preventing shops from opening. Schools have opened, but threatening children from going to schools. So all this is because there is a narrative on part of Pakistan and the terrorists who reside in that state. But will we succeed? Well, we have no doubt that the soldiers on the ground and with the whole of the government approach, there is no way anything will prevent us from achieving our ultimate mission. It may take time, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I think it goes to the credit of the infantry soldier who is battling it out day in and day out to ensure that the people of Kashmir can live in peace and that Kashmir remains a part of India. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I once again thank Maruf Raja for giving us an excellent expose on the strategic issues of Jammu and Kashmir. I also wish to highlight that the Ministry of Government has taken a decision to carry out research on our border issues, on our boundary issues. As far as the northern borders are concerned, the historical section has been tasked, and you will be happy to note that we met the Raksha Mantri today along with Mr. Claude RP, who's a fellow with the USI, on what is the way forward on addressing the issue of the border or the line of actual control, and then, of course, on our western borders. It is important for the people of our nation and for us in uniform to get a deeper insight into our border problems. Only then can the young officers and the soldiers on ground understand as to why are we standing or manning our borders day in and day out. I think it is important for them to understand that it is not just sitting there, manning the borders. You are sitting there because there is a history behind this. This history must be known to them. And this is something which we have decided to undertake, and very soon you will get the actual history in the open domain for the people to understand as to what is the legacy of our borders, what is the problem. One very basic issue which I would like to highlight is, when you look at the website of the MHA, you'll see the length of the borders of our northern borders or our borders with TAR. The length of the borders is mentioned as something like 3,540 odd kilometers, measured from Karakoram Pass. Well, Maruf Raza just showed you the map. Our borders begin not at Karakoram Pass, but at the tri-junction of China, Afghanistan, and the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Therefore, our northern borders are well beyond 4,000 kilometers and not 3,500 plus as mentioned in our own MHA websites. So there is a lot of corrective action that needs to be done. History needs to be told and the truth must come out. And that is an attempt which is being made. So finally, our homage to Field Marshal Cariappa for the very solid foundation that he has laid for our army and for the infantry in particular. We will forever remain indebted to him. His leadership values hold good even today. And I am confident these will hold good in the future, in the years ahead. My best wishes to the infantry fraternity, to the Indian Army, the Navy and the Air Force, because while we celebrate Infantry Day on the 27th of October each year, the infantry moves forward with the support of each one of you who wears the uniform, be it olive green, blues or whites. With this, I come to the conclusion of my remarks. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for a patient hearing, and thank you once again, Maruf Raza, for giving us this excellent expose. Jai Hind and Dhanyavad.